Hello, hello. Say something, Dirt. Dirt. And Dirt can't hear me. That's terrific. Hey, Dirt, can you hear me? All right, can you guys hear me? Can everyone hear me?
Are
Can you
we
hear me,
live?
Dirt? Yeah,
Yeah, I
we're
can
live.
hear you.
Can you? Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, guys. Talk, Dirt.
Yo, yo, yo,
Okay,
what's up, man?
I'm sorry. I don't know what's been going on. It's just been a rough week, man. It's been a rough week. uh, I really shouldn't have had the show, but it's like one of the only things that's like distracting me. So it's like I don't want to not do it. All right, so what's going on, you guys? This is the Addict Show. We talk about the past, present, and future of gaming. I got my co-host with me, Dirt Gurgy. What's going on, Dirt?
What's up, man? Yeah,
So,
yeah, my wife, so we got a show, man. It's a huge storm here in Michigan at the time, but it finally passed and no power went out, so I'm good to go, brother.
yeah, hopefully no power goes. There's nothing worse than like your power going out and it's like you feel like it's permanent. Like it's like this
Bro, the
is never
last
gonna
time my
turn
power went
back
out,
on.
was like in February. It was out for like 2 days. That shit was terrible.
Yeah, it's been a rough week. You know, I got some stuff going on. But you know, the good thing I can talk about is we've had a an okay week of news. You know, it's funny. Like we might complain about the ABK, having to
Hmm.
always talk about it, but I was thinking if the ABK news wasn't going on, would we even had news to talk about anyway? Like, because if you really think about it, we act like I would think there are scenarios where they have pushed stuff deliberately because of the ABK deal,
Hmm.
but the majority of like the times we've talked about the ABK deal, they would have just been nothing to talk about if it wasn't there. So like
Addict,
ABK
the
deal
ABK deal has caused so much content for
on
my
both
channel.
sides.
Oh, absolutely. Not just the deal itself, but reactions from fanboys, whether it's PlayStation fanboys on the PlayStation side, they're saying Xbox fanboys are crying. It has sparked so much content, bro, and it's been pretty cool. It's about to end eventually. Well, not really. You know why? Because once it's finished,
Some they're gonna buy
guys like
something
me gonna
else.
be rolling with it. Say, yo, we own Call of Duty, you POSs. We gonna have a good time, man.
So yes, I see people saying we will be talking about Ratchet and Clank being Steam Deck official. That's hilarious. But you know, I want to go over and I want to like point out. You know, the main thing we're going to be talking about today is just what we expect from these titles. Did you watch the Starfield animation thing?
No, I didn't. I actually missed it. No, I didn't get a chance to watch
Part
it
of me
yet.
feels like we should like live react to it, but I don't want. I don't know. Sometimes this stuff's like weird. Sometimes like the gaming industry don't care, and then
Yeah.
I can't explain to Cog. I got the channel copyright strike.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah, you're right. Cause you never know, bro. You never know.
my audio is low. Is it because I'm not as close to it? All right, what about now? Is it fine now?
May sound fine to me.
Yeah, so it's just been a chaotic week. But let's just move on straight with the show, man. Let's just get to it.
Let's get to it, bro.
Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart has officially launched on PC. It looks like, and not only is this sucker being able to run on a mechanical drive, a hard
Mm,
drive, it's also Steam Deck available.
mm.
So and I understand where people are coming from. They're saying, well, the developer never really said that it wasn't available on any other platform. He just said that you need the PlayStation 5 SSD. I'm gonna tell you right now, we don't care. Like it's just like the Phil Spencer, the Jim Ryan thing. When you come out there and you say definite statements, you better hold to those definite answers. And the fact that this thing is Steam Deck ready is buck wild to me, man. What do you think going on with this stuff, man?
Um, well, like you said, there was a lot of things said. I put Chris Hart in timeout. Shut up for a second, Chris Hart. Up here lying. It can't run on PC or even Xbox. Yeah, okay, Chris. All right. So like you said, man, it was a lot of things said about the PS5 SSD that Ratchet and Clank wasn't possible on no other platform, including PC. It was only possible because the PlayStation 5 SSD. Look, man, I understand. Like you mentioned, Phil Spencer has before other developers for their games have hyped up their games for whatever reason. It is what it is, man. You know, these people hype up the games saying it's only possible on the PS5 and clearly is not. I saw John Linneman. He tried to run it on some like old school bootleg HDD and it
Something that
was
would
lagging a
mimic the
little bit.
PlayStation 4.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
My only
So,
thing
but
with that is that's how the game runs officially now.
mhm.
But if they went back and they re-optimized the game and changed things up during development, like
Yeah,
the fact that this thing runs on a handheld device, there's no way this thing doesn't run on the PlayStation 4 if the developers went back and tweaked it.
Yeah, I agree with that. But then we saw it run on Steam Deck. Somebody said it was running on an SD card. Somebody showed a clip of it running on an SD card. So, look, man, I mean, it is what it is, right? Addict? What can we say? It is what it is. You know, a lot of PlayStation fanboys, when we found out that, okay, we found out that the Xbox Series X was technically more powerful on paper than the PS5. Us Xbox fanboys, we ran with it. We was talking trash. When we found out that the PS5 SSD was technically a little bit more faster than the Xbox SSD, PlayStation fanboys ran with that. So it's all fun and games to me. So right now we're going to make fun of you guys because they said it wasn't possible on any other platform besides PlayStation 5, and clearly that wasn't true. And we're going to have fun with it, bro. Just like they had fun when PlayStation was winning some comparison videos early this generation. So listen, man, we're going to have fun. They have fun. Now it's time for us to have fun.
Yeah, it's just like, I always say, don't ever think that something's only possible on one platform.
Absolutely.
You got this developer running wild on on Twitter. What is it like?
Oh, quantum air. Quantum error.
Quantum Error. First
Yeah.
off, who gonna play your game? And I've noticed every time they talk about that game now, it's something like negative that can wow up a console war discussion.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, look, is it the best way to sell your game? Probably not. But if it's like one of the only tools you have and you don't have a huge marketing, do you, dude? But like, it's just like the Cliffy B. Don't make a port for Xbox and expect like a lot of support from like the hardcore audiences on Twitter and stuff. Because like when developers get into the console war stuff, we gonna hold you to it.
Oh yeah. Nope. And that's exactly what this guy's doing. I think he knows he's fueling the console war. That's what he's doing, because what he's doing, he's pissing off Xbox guys, and he's backing PlayStation, meaning PlayStation guys are backing him. So little does he know. I'm sure he knows it because he's doing it intentionally. He's in the console war now. This game is console war material right now.
At this point, he might as well just call PlayStation and be like, yo, you give me a bag to put this in PlayStation Plus. Like,
pretty much. But I'm going to tell you this. If this game comes out to be crap, you know what's happening. Because he put himself in a console war. So,
do you see people hyping up the game now because they've been saying this?
Oh, yeah.
I haven't really seen that. I haven't really looked. I just think it's hilarious. $2 super chat from Kinbeanie Gaming. The power of the SSD. Yeah.
What's up, Q-Beanie? How you doing, brother?
It's crazy, man.
This is what I've seen, Addict. I've seen, the Xbox SSD is too slow. It's too slow. Xbox is a failure. It's too slow. That's what I've been seeing. This is the only game that they're... Come on, it's crazy, bro.
At the end of the day, these devs, it's like I said, if it's not like the only marketing thing you got, I get it. Maybe it's one of these PlayStation fanboys. Maybe it's like, how like all these people have like burner accounts and stuff. Maybe one of these PlayStation fanboys started up a developing company.
Right.
That's really like the doctor who like doxed his patient or whatever. Like
Hmm.
that's really his real business, and he won't tell anybody. I don't know. It's just like look, don't let this PlayStation stuff, this console war stuff in general consume you. You know,
Hmm.
I see people taking it too far. Yeah, way too far. And when it comes to like, I've always looked at the console war stuff as just a funny joke, like a ha ha. It's never went beyond that, but I do be seeing people let it go way beyond that.
Yep. I agree. Like like when I console war, it's really just fun and games with me, man. But some guys take it way too serious. They get literally mad about certain things, and it shouldn't be. It shouldn't come to that. But at the same time, I can't tell people how they should feel, so I don't try to. But as far as this game, though, I, I think when you're a developer, you got to be very careful with the console war stuff, right? Especially when you're a third party developer, a small third party developer. If you isolate yourself from Xbox or even vice versa, if you isolate yourself from PlayStation, that can hurt you in the long run, man. Because you never know what, like you mentioned, Cliff B. Remember Lawbreakers, like you were saying,
Yeah,
he went full PlayStation, yeah, and that
and he
game did
even
crap.
years after that, he even said that was a mistake.
Yeah, it was, man, because he went full PlayStation and he isolated the Xbox guys, and they was like, "Damn, Cliffy B, man, we thought you was the homie." So you got to be careful, when you're a third party developer, especially when you're small like that.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, so let's get into the
What is
first
Chris
topic.
Hart talking about? Man, he lucky this ain't my
Just,
channel, bro.
just time him out. Give us a little bit of a break. Just time him out.
My God.
Yeah. Chris Hart. You know, we'll see you in 200 seconds. All right, so
That's crazy, man.
Xbox identity. I would say, you got COG believing real hard that they need like the just one game, which, I agree with them to a point. And then a lot of people feel like Xbox doesn't have an identity right now. They used to be known as like the shooter box with, Gears and Halo. And now, what would you consider the identity of Xbox right now? Would it be value? What would it be to you?
Value, the shooter box and some, because if you think about it, pretty soon, Halo, Call of Duty, Doom, Wolfenstein, Gears of War is all going to be under one umbrella. Those are pretty much the biggest shooters, with the exception of Battlefield. What other shooter is bigger than those games? I can't think of one.
All right, let me rephrase that real quick. This is what you believe it is. What do you think is going to get Xbox farther in the market? What identity do you think they should take?
Okay. Well, variety, because they have a variety of, like you said, shooters. They have platformers under their belt now, from Psychonauts to Crash to Spyro. They have Western RPGs, the biggest Western RPGs, with the exception of CD Projekt Red. They have the biggest Western RPG developers under their umbrella. It's a variety of games. Plus, they have something like Xbox Game Pass. So, I think Xbox identity right now is content, value, and a variety, man.
All right, so this is what I think they should do. I think the core, the company should push more towards Western RPGs. I think
that's what they're doing.
They got the majority of the best companies that make those games right now.
Yep.
And if they're able to go out there and pick up like a CD Projekt Red, like they low key need to monopolize that entire genre. Like,
Yeah.
It's like you can't go anywhere but to get this. Because I would say to a point, there are some cases where that, hashtag just one formula is done by like a third party. But I would say it's very rare it's done just as good as PlayStation. So you could argue they have a monopoly on that type of gameplay. And, I think Microsoft, you really captivate on Elder Scrolls, The Outer Worlds 2, Avowed, Starfield. Uh, what's that?
Hell, Fable.
Fable. Yeah, Fable is going
Yeah.
to be an RPG. I believe there's another studio making an RPG of some sort. Exile
A Clockwork
Entertainment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Clockwork Revolution.
And so that's where I feel like they should go. They should be the place to go to play these type of games. And then once they start like defining the Game Pass thing, then it's like, if you want to play Game Pass, we got that for you too. You know, we got Call of Duty, like, you know, we still have that shooter formula.
Oh, you forgot Starfield. Did you say Starfield?
Yes, it's Starfield. We still got the shooter formula, but if you want that good stuff, we got what we do and what no one else does. Because to me, like, Cogs thinks they should do the hashtag just one, and to a point I agree with them, but it's like I said, like, I don't feel like they need it. You know,
No, you saying Cogs should say what? Just one?
hashtag just one. It's like one game that's that that PlayStation formula, just one game. And that's cool because he is right. There's a lot of PlayStation community that likes that style, and you know that's a good way of getting them over there. But to me, the whole premise of it is like, you would like more, but one would do. That's why it says just one. And I don't think no one's gonna come over for one game that's on the PlayStation side. That's why I feel like their best bet is to double down in the RPGs and make the best place to play RPGs is on our platform by far. You know, imagine like Starfield comes out 90 plus, Fable comes out 90 plus. Like, you start throwing out these type of games consistently every year, because you think about it, this year would be Starfield. Next year be Avowed. They're able to really captivate that game and get it out the door. The year after that would be Fable. The year after that would be Elder Scrolls 6, most likely, because we're talking like, what, 2026? The year after, or Outer Worlds 2 and Elder Scrolls 6. Or after Fable is the Outer Worlds 2, then after Outer Worlds 2, the year after that's Like, you can argue they got a Game of the Contender every year. From here, the rest of the decade. Decades every 10, right? Or is that centuries every 100 years, millenniums every 1,000 years, I think, and decades every 10 years or 12 years. I don't know.
Yeah.
But they got the rest.
A decade is 10.
10. They got the rest of this decade on lock. Now, does that mean PlayStation's out of the count? No. PlayStation still got a lot of very prominent things that they're able to use. But at the end of the day, I do think that hashtag just one formula is starting to run its toll on people. I saw a lot of like hardcore PlayStation people that was just like, God of War Ragnarok was fun. Last of Us Part 2 was fun. But now I'm starting to want something more than just have an AI partner, go through these. I saw a lot. And people that ride and die PlayStation were saying that. So what do you think? Do you think that PlayStation, you know, they've always had the identity. And I think Xbox had an identity, but they kind of switched stuff up, and you know they lost a little bit of their identity. Do you think PlayStation's identity has gotten to the point now where maybe they need to switch that up a little? And I think you're seeing that with, you know, them investing so much in games as a service. But what do you think?
I think in the Xbox 360 generation, the Xbox identity was that shooter box, the shooter box, and that was fine. It worked out for them. I do believe now they are going to be, like I said earlier, the shooter box. They're going to say they have something for everybody. They have a third-person action-adventure game like Hellblade. They have shooters like Call of Duty, Gears of War, Halo, you know, hell, Perfect Dark, Wolfenstein, Doom, all of those games. Just think about that for us. All those games are going to be our first party pretty much. And with the Western RPGs, it's like, if we're the home of the Western RPGs, we're the home of the shooters. Xbox portfolio Addict, Addict go, always talking in the background. But their portfolio isn't just one anymore. They were just a shooter box on the 360 generation. In the Xbox One generation, they kind of lost their identity. Now they got their identity back. shooters, Western RPGs, they have platforms. So I just think now Xbox, you can't say the one. With PlayStation, yeah, they were the home of the third-person action adventure, story-driven games. Even they're starting to go in a different direction, like you said. I was watching a Pony, his reaction to the PlayStation Showcase, and he said something I don't think a lot of people talked about. He said, "I'm starting to have." I don't know if he said Spider-Man fatigue or superhero fatigue. He said, I think he said Spider-Man fatigue. And what you mentioned, like you mentioned, a few people when they played God of War Ragnarok, including myself, 2018 was absolutely incredible. Ragnarok was good, but it was something missing with it, right? It was too similar to the first one, if you know what I'm saying. It was a decent game, but it was just a little bit too similar to the first one. So PlayStation knows they have to switch it up a little bit. I think their fan base, most of their fan base gets it, but there's always those idiots that still want the same old, and that's fine. They can want what they want. But I do believe Xbox identity, I don't think you can say that won. So if Kai said that, I kind of disagree with him. I'd say if you say they should have that one game to stand out, I think that's doing them a disservice.
Like permanent.
So, okay.
But I could tell that like he's very big on at least having one, and I think that's fair. You know, he's not asking them to change the identity of Xbox, but it does seem like he would like for them to at least have one.
Yeah, I think if you do that now, Xbox is doing themselves a disservice because they have too much. They have too much at this point.
Oh, I agree.
At this point, they have too much.
As you guys could see, I've changed things up a little bit on the screen. That way you guys could see, what we're reading. Because I do want to start being a little bit more engageful in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the best way of doing that, is it still there? Yeah, the best way of doing that is to show. Okay, so let me put this over here so I can double check this, because this is something new I've never done. All right. Yeah, it works just fine. Okay, maybe it doesn't work just fine, but it works fine. All right, we're good now. All right, so. All right, my bad. All right, so as you guys can see, I have the chat right here. So plus I can show you guys like super chats and stuff, so it works pretty good. All right, so I do keep in mind if you do super chats and if you have exciting conversation that I would like to engage with, you'll pop up down here. I think I'm going to do like a template next week. All right, so we got Jim 70. Trend hopping isn't viable for a changing market. I'm kind of curious what he means by that. What do you think he means by that, Dirt?
Trend hopping. I guess he means what's popular. Going from, I guess, example from going to battle royale type games to whatever's popping lately, whether it's a hero style game. I remember when Overwatch really blew up, then you started to see a bunch of hero style games pop up.
What?
Then, now Battle Royale was popular, and then you saw a bunch of Battle Royale games. So I understand what he said. The market is always changing. So I do understand what he's saying. It's not viable to constantly follow a trend, but the market is constantly changing. So as soon as you do this style of game, it switches up to something else that's popular. So yeah, I get what he's saying. And I agree with him, actually.
Yeah, I think mainly what he's talking about is like, we seen people trend chase with like Fortnite, and I would honestly say between like Fortnite, Call of Duty, Minecraft, Breath of the Wild, it ruined the industry. I would say trend chasing ruins the industry more than anything in any practice.
I agree.
Because when you trend chase,
you're
not even
originality.
trying to do anything different. You're just trying to copy the person next to you.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I'm older than you, but I would tell you this: in the early '90s, when Street Fighter blew up, you saw a plethora of these games that tried to be Street Fighter, bro. The only one that really succeeded was Mortal Kombat and maybe Killer Instinct. Maybe there was a few that was decent, but there were so many games that tried to be Street Fighter, bro. And when Mortal Kombat blew up, you started to see a plethora of these games that had digitalized characters like actors. It was the same stuff, and so they were trying to trend hop. So I agree with what he said. You see that all the time, man. If
Yeah.
something is popping, something gets popular. Oh, let's try to copy that.
Yeah, I think you got it. Plus, yeah, I see, I see what's his name in the chat trying to start stuff. Christopher Hard, don't take stuff to Twitter. I'm gonna be real with you. Like that's some sucker stuff, man. Like you want to talk extra in the chat, okay? You don't go to Twitter. Don't take Addict Show beef to Twitter. All right, that you want to talk extra in this chat where he got power over you. Like,
And what do you do?
he said, I tagged you in something on Twitter.
You a sucker, man.
Oh my god. All right, so let's
Chris, shut up, man. You lucky you ain't on my channel, boy. I cuss you out, huh? Shut up.
I'm talking right
Digital
here.
Foundry. Man, shut up.
Yeah, I'm gonna let him go loose if you keep talking. All right, so let's move on to our next topic. You know, we actually got a nice little thing we're gonna talk about today. Let me bring it up. Let me do the timestamp police. We are 30 minutes. Talk about Starfield.
Mm-hmm.
So they released some videos. I only watched one of them. I think there was 3. I like this. It gets mad Overwatch vibes, like building up a world. I really enjoy that. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, man. That sounds good. So what you saw like where you get this information? Somewhat. Where are you getting this information? Was it some new video or something? Because I missed it.
Yeah, it's pretty much like a settler system thing where they're telling you about certain people in the game.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch that.
Yeah, so I think it's good, man. You know what this gets mad vibes with me though?
What's that?
Gets mad I'm confident vibes. Like I will say this, I'm not gonna go into detail, but on the influencer side, there is being moves made right now. I won't say what it is, but I do completely expect in the next, I would say, in the next 2 weeks, you'll start to see like a lot of content for Starfield. Right? I think you're going to start seeing that roll out.
Or like some previews or
yes, some previews, man.
Nice.
I think people are going to be excited, man. I really do. I think people are going to be excited.
Nice. Man, it's going to be a huge game, man. And it comes out with September 6th, right? So it's pretty much a little over a month, man. So yeah, that's some good stuff, man.
So when it comes to Starfield, you know, what's your expectations? Like, what kind of game do you want Starfield to be?
I just want it to be a great experience, man. Just me personally. I just want to, I want it to be something that's going to have me engaged for a long time. Because I'm trying to go through some of my backlog. Of course, I can't finish all of my backlog, but I'm going to try to beat as many games as I can within the next month because I 100% want to focus all of my time on Starfield. And of course, me, I like 2K. I'll be playing 2K too, but that's a sports game. But I'm going to focus my time on Starfield because I really want to put a lot of time into the game. It looks great. And that's what I want Starfield to be. Just an amazing experience because there's a handful of games I can say that just gave me an amazing experience. Like, man, after you finish the game, like, man, damn, that game was fire. That's what I want Starfield to be for me.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over what the chat's expectations are. I'm kind of curious what the.
Hey, can I say something right quick?
Yes.
Hey, Chris Hart, I don't care what you think. I don't care about you. I will never let you on my show. I will never even talk to you. If I see you in real life, I might fight you.
Oh.
So please stop talking to me.
Christopher Hart, do we really got to start all this drama, Christopher? Because you trying, like you trying real extra right now. All right, so what I'm gonna do is as you guys can see, here's the chat. Put what you guys. I want to see your guys' opinions on what you want Starfield, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over some of them. Because I ain't gonna lie, man. It's been a rough week on me. I did very minimum things on this. I see someone talking about 1,000 planets equals fluff. How do you feel about the 1,000 planets?
Yeah. Listen, man. Honestly, who's gonna go to 1,000 planets? I'm not, but maybe they're just talk just to have make the game seem better than more bigger than it is, because I'm not going to 1,000 planets, but if this 1,000 planet thing is true, I think it's cool, man. It's cool. I'm not going to 1,000 planets though. That's for damn sure.
I'm going to 1,000. Okay,
hey man, but
here's another thing that
Jared said he's going to go to every single one. Shout out to you, Jared. Jared gonna have 1,000 hours in Starfield.
Someone said the new dashboard is out for everyone. Have you seen that new dashboard?
Yeah, I have it, man. I cut it on and it was there.
So it's like the old PlayStation dashboard.
It does kind of remind me of that a little bit. It's actually pretty good though, man. That's showing more of your background, because that was one thing. You have those nice dynamic backgrounds and you really couldn't see much because the tiles were covering it. But yeah, it's actually pretty good, man. I didn't get a chance to mess with it too much, but yeah, I had it. It was up there updated for me. As soon as I come Xbox on, it was a screen that said, yeah, here's the new dashboard, and I pressed a button and there it was. So far so good.
All right. So when it comes to 1,000 planets, I do think that at first I was very against the 1,000 planets, because it does feel like a lot of fluff. But when I was actually really sitting down and thinking about it, they've already said that some of the planets are predetermined, so they won't be randomly generated. And you know what those planets are, Dirt?
What's that?
The main story.
Right.
So I think, because here's the thing. They got 1,000 planets, and they said only 10% generate life. And they'll call that's 10%'s 100 planets.
Facts. Facts. And that's basic math, right? You got 1,000. Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a substantial amount, man.
Yeah, that's still 100 planets. You're right, brother. 10%. No, but it's gonna be cool, man. I can't wait to play it, man. I'm really excited for it. Now I mentioned, people in the chat, don't roast me, please. I mentioned in the past I've never played Elder Scrolls game. Those wasn't my types of games back in the day. I played Fallout 3 and 4. Didn't really care for them. But like I always say, I'm a different type of gamer now. A game like The Witcher 3 and Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I would have never finished those types of games in my 30s, 20s. I'm just a different type of gamer now. So I'm a more patient gamer. I can't wait to just sit down and spend a bunch of time on Starfield.
And not to mention, we always have different tastes than we had years and years ago.
Yeah.
I actually was more into... I'm the exact opposite of you. I was into Starfield type of games, Morrowind. I remember playing Morrowind in shifts with my cousin, and it was we would keep switching back and forth between who played Morrowind and who played RuneScape. So I would play RuneScape while he played Morrowind, and then after like a couple hours we would switch. He would play Morrowind while I played RuneScape.
No, that sounds cool.
And I did that for years. I remember playing Oblivion. I remember making like spells in Morrowind that was so broken you can jump across the map. I remember like glitching your speed where you're moving so fast it crashes the original Xbox.
Dang.
I've done all this stuff. I played so many hours. Skyrim, their day one. I remember I got Krispy Kreme donuts and some chicken, and I played Skyrim all night with my cousin, the same one that I played Morrowind with. We went and picked him up because I was still at this time I think it was right after high school. I just graduated, and I picked him up and we played Skyrim like all night. Keep in mind, I was taking turns with him, so imagine how it is to finally get to like Winterfell, and then my cousin's like, "It's my turn." Damn. Okay, I'll play this later. Like that's what was going on, and some of my best memories is playing that game, and
Dope
I
stuff.
remember my friend Tyler and Ronnie picked me up, and we took my Xbox to our friend Joe's house because we all were part of the same like friend clique. And I remember we woke up and everyone went outside to do something, and me and Storm, because his name was Storm, we're sitting in there playing Skyrim while everyone else is outside. It's like we did that. I must have played Skyrim religiously. There's 3 games. I would say Destiny, I have more time in Destiny than anything ever.
Mm.
And I don't think I'm ever going to touch that. I have a lot of time in Fallout New Vegas, like an excessive amount of time. I have a lot of time in Fallout 3. I don't have as much in Fallout 4, and I've been meaning to go back to Fallout 4.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a lot of time in Skyrim. I have probably, it would go Destiny, Skyrim, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 3, and I would say Oblivion and Morrowind. I probably have the least time in Morrowind, but I still have probably 600-700 hours in Morrowind. So,
and that's the least amount of time.
Yeah, I played Fallout New Vegas. I beat the game like 7 times, like dozens and dozens of hours each time. I made a character that literally just punched people, and I had like a strong punch. I hit someone, they're good. They're going out there. You know what I'm saying? It was a good time, man. I remember like the Legion in Fallout New Vegas, where he has like cancer or something. I can't remember what illness he had, and you can either choose to like save him or kill him. And I remember I killed that dude, because this dude, like, you go to a town. Now imagine in Fallout New Vegas, you go to a town and everyone's crucified, like the whole town. And you have these people walking out that's like, yo, you got any problem with what you see? And it was that serious. It was that serious.
Wow.
And it was the Legion that did it.
Okay. So the dude had cancer. You just let him die, right? Because he was the evil dude anyway.
Well,
right?
you had to have a high meds to cure him. Like you had to be very sufficient. That's when RPGs did actual RPG things.
Right.
You know, Fallout 4 was a fraction of its former self, and it's still a good game. It's just not a good Fallout game.
Right.
All right, so let's get this super chat before we move on to Clockwork. It's like I said, you guys have to. I apologize if the show seems a little bit off, because it is. But it is what it is. All right, so we got this super chat from Muhammad. I'm probably going to butcher that. Help me make sure I don't butcher this man's name.
Muhammad Sherza?
Muhammad Sherza with the 5. I have no clue
what currency that is. Yeah.
Currency that is. Someone Google that. I'd like to know. See, it's not even about super chats. I'm very curious on what currency is what. There's got to be people in this chat, almost 400 people, that know the currency that. I mean, the dude that super chat is most likely still in the super chat.
It says Singapore.
Singapore? Is that
Singapore?
I don't know where that is. Do you know where that is?
Isn't that I don't know, bro.
All right, so I do hope Starfield is Skyrim in space with additional space sim game elements. It's so obvious the 1,000 planets is to encourage modders. I think it's that, and I think it also is to like, look, if they didn't give you 1,000 planets and it was just a very dead place, I don't think people would enjoy that. You know, to a point, you got to be realistic with the thing and understand that, you know, we have what's the way I want to word this? Dirt. True or false? If they had 10 planets, 10 very highly detailed planets, and they only gave you these 10 planets, but they promoted Starfield as like some giant like Mass Effect type of game where you can go to these different planets, but there was only 10. Do you think people would think that that's like a universe filling type of game?
Like you said, these 10 planets are very detailed.
Yes, but we're talking about. They say you can go to the universe. Like, you know, I feel like when you throw out words like that, you have to fill the map out to make people think this is a universe. And if you realistically, we have 8 planets in our solar system, and only one of them potentially has life. So it would make sense out of 1,000 planets that only 100 would. You know, but I want some big emphasis on like aliens, civilizations, different cultures. Like, I want stuff like that. I want to feel like at any time, like there could just be like giant wars. I want to like fly into a galaxy in the middle of like a Star Wars war, like where they're, you know how like in the Star Wars like set pieces, they're having these giant space battles.
Yeah.
I would love to fly and see stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But most likely it's going to be on my PC because it's got to be at 60 frames.
If they use the word universe, that word usually means big. 10 detailed planets would be great, but I don't know if they should use the word universe, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I hear you. And to be honest, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah.
I just want them. More importantly, I want Microsoft to do better. You know, imagine. Just said, Addict, this is not Destiny. Look, but that's what I want. People in this chat, you cannot tell me wouldn't be lit to find like a hyperspace, whatever the hell Todd Howard said, where you could jump to another part of the galaxy, and you come out of hyperspace to a giant war going on with all these guns going off and shooting all these ships down. Does that not sound lit, Dirt? Like,
yes,
you
cool.
just come in like, oh my God, what's going on? You just looking around, everything's getting shot down. Like, people can't tell me that's not what people would want. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. No Man's Sky, Destiny Destiny's definitely doo-doo right now. It could definitely improve drastically right now. And that's what I'm saying. Like, remember the Outer Worlds? I don't know if you played this, Dirt.
I finished Outer Worlds.
You know how that one planet you go to and there's like a giant civil war going on? You have to choose what side you're on, and they end up using you to go to the other to taking out the other side, or I think there was another side where you can make them both come to agreements with each other. Yeah. I want decisions like that. I want the decision in the Outer Worlds where we're talking to the plant thing, and they're like, "Yo, we either can take the power away from the place you from the city to go to the place where you need it to go, or if you become friends with that other faction, we can take it from the city to make them go to the other faction." Like, that's the kind of options I want in this game. That's the kind of Starfield I want. I want something that feels alive. I want to land on a planet and it just feels like, you know, for instance, you know, in Star Wars, when when some of these after fights on planets where there's giant craters where they've beamed stuff down, they've, you know, nuclear stuff's happened. I mean, I don't know if it's nuclear stuff in Star Wars, but see like these battlefields. That's just pretty much been what do they call it? Glass. They call it glass in Halo when they destroyed a planet. And I want to see stuff like that. I want lore behind this stuff.
Man, Addict, you're asking for a lot there, buddy.
Yeah, and I expect it. I expect to get that. You guys know I'm a bitch. I'm a bitch if I don't get it. Let's get this super chat from Iron Mike. $5 super chat. Think about this. Okay, I'm thinking about it. Combine all the planets you travel to in all the Star Wars and Mass Effect games, and that ain't even 100 planets. You know what? You on to something there, Iron Mike. And that's why, you know, I don't know if it's possible what I want, but it's just like, it's what I want. Like, I just think that, you know, if they're able to do something like that and give you the type of experience that you want, then why not? Like, here's the thing, like, even if it's like a lot of fluff in the game, fluff isn't bad as long as it's done right. You know what I'm saying? Fluff is not, as long as it's done right, it's not bad. All right,
yeah.
so
As you get Germ,
Is another super chat?
Germ 70 with the $2. Who doesn't want
Oh,
realistic space drug simulators?
I didn't even see it. I'm sorry, Darren. Who doesn't want a realistic? I don't know. Is he mocking me? Is that what he's doing?
I don't know.
Is he mocking me? Germ, are you mocking me, Germ? Be honest with me, man. Are you mocking me? I see you right there. Are you mocking me, Germ? Germ, tell me, man. Are you mocking me? Do you not want space battles? You know, I want to be able like to run down on like a convoy and steal people's drugs in Starfield. Like, I don't understand how like not realistic space battles is definitely realistic. I mean, he did say realistic, so he might not be making fun of me. Oh, space drugs are a serious business. Oh, okay, so he's not. He's not. I mean, I think he's kind of making funny, but he's not making funny.
Who knows?
Yeah, so you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. All right, so let's move on to Clockwork Revolution. How you feel about this game? Like, what's your honest opinion on Clockwork Revolution right now?
From just looking at it from the trailer, of course, that's all we pretty much know about it. It looks great to me. This is the biggest game NXL has ever done, from what I read. The leader of the company, he was I can't think of his name. They said that he was about to retire, right? Until Microsoft approached him.
Well, he's been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, well, he's about to retire, but this is supposedly the biggest game they've ever had as far as budget wise, because they actually made the original Fallout before Bethesda got it, right? I believe so.
It used to be all one company, and it started splitting up into other companies. Obsidian was a part of them too. I can't remember what the initial PO or something. That's what the initial name used to be called. So I don't know. I don't want to butcher them. Someone in the chat tell me what they were, because I know one of you guys know.
Yeah, but I think the game looks great, man. They ended don't forget, of course, they ended with Starfield, but the regular showcase they ended with Clockwork Revolution, and I'm thinking that game is probably 2025. It looks great, man. And that's how they have a great sense of humor. I love the little skits they be doing on Twitter, or is it X? I'm sorry. And it's pretty cool, man. I can't wait to check the game out. Looks very interesting. I love anything with time travel or time manipulation. I love stuff like that. So I saw there was some of that in the game, and yeah, it looks good.
So I have put the image of what Clover shared. So do I need to send you this link?
No, I can see it.
Okay, so it looks like a blink. Look at this, like the detail and like the breaks and stuff. This looks like real detailed in-game engine. Like, especially if you look at this next picture, one of these pictures, this is definitely in-game. Like this looks. It gives me like We Happy Few vibes.
Is that a good thing?
Yes, no. It gives me immersion We Happy Few, because I do feel like immersion was a good thing in We Happy Few. It's just they didn't do a lot with it. Right. I do think the DLC showed a lot of potential when it comes to the immersion part, but this is the immersion part. I think that, you know, part of making a game is making the world. You know, one of the most important parts is the world that you are cruising around, especially in like an RPG like this, Clockwork Revolution. You know, this is going to be a big thing. And, you know, if you look at this, it's clearly detailed. Like, look at this gun.
Yeah.
You know, I would say the art style is unique. Do you think this is cartoony, or you think this is just right?
I think it's just right. I mean, listen, every game doesn't have to be photorealistic. I think it looks great, man. Like just like with BioShock, would you consider that game photorealistic? No, not necessarily. It looked great though. This game looks great. Like, a game like Deathloop, I thought it looked fine. It's not necessarily a realistic looking game. There's a lot like Outer Worlds, you know. So yeah, no, it looks fine, man. I like the look of it.
I do feel like this. Okay, now let me pull out of here. We'll get some super chats. Then we're going to talk about like what you expect from this game, because I have obviously I got some expectations. Okay. All right, so let's get these super chats. I think Jay's the last super chat I need to get. Yeah, I think this little thing here is going to work pretty good. So we got a $5 super chat from Jay Rambert. Probably butchered your name. We're going to move right past that, though. What got me interested in Starfield is that you can form Voltron. I guess it's multiple ships coming together to form one ship. I don't know. Do you know what that's about?
I have no idea.
I've never heard of a Voltron thing. Jay, you don't got to put another super chat. Put in the chat what you mean by that. I'm giving you permission to form another super chat without paying for it. C-Dub
813.
813. Oh yeah, people were tagging me saying they want your man Shaun on here. We're gonna have to set that up. Next week is Forte and Slow Mo. So we're gonna have a good time with them next week. $5 super chat from Jay, from C-Dub 813-305. I think that's his area codes. I think he went at me on ILP this week because I didn't know what those numbers are. All right, what's up? I feel like we're about to enter a new golden age of gaming on all platforms. Despite the console war BS, things are looking good. I'm gonna be honest. And look at that, man. I read your abbreviations. Hey, I love when you guys put it stuff I know. So some of the stuff you guys be putting, I don't know, like the abbreviation.
Hey man, that's in my opinion, Addict. What you talking about?
Oh, I didn't say that.
No, you said I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, yeah, I'm an idiot. That's fine though. We're gonna move past.
But I know what you meant.
What's your expectations with this game? Like, what type of game do you expect this to be?
Quality, man. In Exile, look, I didn't finish Wasteland 3, but that game had a pretty good story. Funny. I'm expecting this game to be quality. I'm expecting it to be funny. I'm expecting it to be a good game, man, because like I mentioned, in Exile, they haven't had a game with a budget this big. They said ever. So shout out to Microsoft for scooping them up. And yeah, man, the game is going to be good, man. Of course, we don't know a lot about it. All we saw was some time manipulation, a steampunk setting. Saw some crazy stuff going on. Saw some violence, people floating in the air. Yeah. You know, so I'm looking forward to it, man.
Hold on, let's. I want to read a certain thing that's in the chat right here. Wahmed Shenzi, I probably butchered, man. I apologize. Disagree with the statement because Sony's going live service. He's talking about the super chat. He's pretty much saying, I don't think this is going to be a golden age because PlayStation's about to drop the ball at every quarter. That's low key what that man is saying.
Shout out to Muhammad. Yo, shout out to you. They are going live service, man. Even I know you read it said even Insomniac, they're obviously working on Spider-Man 2 Wolverine, but they're working on another game. So now I don't know how true it is. People say, yeah, Insomniac working on another game, but so I read that some people saying the third game they're working on is a multiplayer game. I guess we'll find out. But if so, that's interesting. It seems like Sony is really going that route. If true, maybe they're working on another single player game. But I don't know, man. They're doing Wolverine, they're doing Spider-Man. Could that third game be a multiplayer game?
And I hate to go off top. No, I don't. You know, we about to smoke. Let's be real here. You know, I'm part-time smoke. You're full-time smoke. I personally think PlayStation going into live service is a nuclear bomb, and it's going to blow up in their base. That's what I personally think. I think they're going to, first off, Destiny, I can understand why people would value Destiny's opinion, and I value Destiny's opinion to a point, but even Destiny be dropping the bomb. Bungie be dropping the bomb on multiple occasions. How you going to let Bungie be the end-all, be-all factor of your company? Because
that's crazy right there. Yeah, that's crazy.
It sounds like they let the new man on the block, the new dude, the dude that just got his vest, walk up to the dude that's been there for 15 years and be like, that ain't it. Well, how do you know? And I get it. They have a very successful game.
Mm-hmm.
No one's going to take that away from Bungie. Destiny 2 has been a very successful game. But we can't act like all games are built equal. There's going to be some that might not make sense to Bungie standards, but it makes sense for their standards. And to me, and especially going up to Naughty Dog, and saying, we don't like your game, Chief. That's not it. Like, imagine being like Naughty Dog. I would feel away. Would you feel away?
100%. Maybe that's why that guy retired. He's like, hey, man, I don't have to take this. Look, I think you're right. And let me say something. David Forth. I can't pronounce nobody's name. I'm like you, Addict. I can't pronounce nobody. David Forth. Say what you said, but just say it without swearing. You know what I'm saying? Just try to say what you said. Just say BS or something. Don't try not to swear. Then, because we can't show it right now. We don't want no cussing in here. Listen, I obviously can't predict the future. I do agree with you with that one part about Bungie. I believe Jim Ryan gave Bungie a little bit too much power. We know they wanted Bungie for their expertise, but they also gave them power to say, yeah, man, Deviation in that game, that ain't it. That ain't it, Deviation. And some people from Deviation left. Naughty Dog, I know you guys make great single-player games, but that ain't it. And who knows what's going on with factions. So you know what they... What's up?
They take all these games that Bungie's put the reject stamp on, and they put them all in one game and call it the rejects.
Hey, that'd be fire.
It's like the old demo disc that you get from the comic book store and like Kroger's, where you're going down it, and it's like Factions 2, and you click down Devotions game.
Deviation, yeah.
And it's just big words on the front that says rejections.
The rejection. No, but look, I'm not gonna go as harsh as you. I don't think all of them are going to hit. I really don't think that. I think if they get one or two of them to hit, they'll be fine. They'll be happy with that. But they're going into
what is their definition of hitting though?
A game that people's fully invested in, sell some millions, and people continue to invest in the content. They buy season passes or whatever they're offering for said game. That's what they need. They need a game that's long going, like a Fortnite. I'm not saying it's gonna be as big as Fortnite or Warzone, but even if they get something on the level of Sea of Thieves, I think they'll be happy with that. If they have, but everyone is not going to hit. But I will say this: people make fun of Xbox because they didn't invest in first party companies in the past. And that's justified 100%. That's why some people are mad now that they're just buying stuff. Listen, they have the money to do it. They can do what they want to do. But I'm saying that because now you're seeing PlayStation didn't invest in multiplayer games in the past. I mean, maybe the PS3 generation, they had some multiplayer titles, but for whatever reason, the PS4 generation, they just stopped doing multiplayer games. So now they're trying to get on this multiplayer live service games kick, and it might not work. It might work. It might not work. I trust PlayStation when it comes to single player games. 100%. They're next to Rockstar. They're the best to do them, right? But when it comes to this multiplayer games, will it work? Who knows, man? They buying studios, but Haven, this is going to be their first game. Deviation, this is their first game, and so far the CEOs or the people that discovered or created the studio left. Then we have these other studios. What are they going to do? So there's a lot of questions. I'm not saying PlayStation is in trouble. I'm not saying no stuff like that. But we have to.
I don't know why. Just something really sits at the back of my mind that's like, this is going to be the most devastating loss PlayStation has ever experienced. Because I feel like it's one thing to dip your toe into the games as a service model and really expand from there. Like, let's say they bought Bungie and they make like one or two games and like they have Bungie be there from the ground up helping build it. They dead ass made like 5 to 10, it feels like. No, how many did they say was in development? What games?
Jermaine said something like 10 to 12, didn't he?
10 to 12. and then they bought Bungie afterwards, and then they didn't dip their toes in it. They belly flopped into the pool. With no, it's like the lifeguard jacket is Bungie, and they threw it after PlayStation already started drowning. Because clearly something happened that was bad. Because if you look at it from the standpoint, like Bungie, it looked like Bungie only approved one. That heist game.
Yeah. So far, we don't know how far they are in development. Oh man.
And that's
okay.
Just me.
So
I'm not.
So you see, Addict is saying they're in trouble. I'm saying not. I'm not going to say that yet. I don't want to seem like too much of a bot. But Addict said PlayStation is in trouble. They said was it 60% of their games are going to be live at games as a service. Addict.
Yeah, and the thing too is a lot of people that love the Sony now. You better hope that I'm right, because I have a severe thinking that if PlayStation is mad successful out the gate with these games as a service, what do you think is going to happen next?
That's going to be their 100% their focus.
Yeah, then we'll make a story game once every 2 years, like a single player, and I'm not saying like 100% they would abandon their roots, but what I've seen from history is when someone's starting to make money, there's a difference between money and money. When you taste that money, you look at how to replicate that. It's like content creation. Dirt, tell me, true or false? You had that one video that started going viral. You was looking, how can I make another video like that?
I was like, man, I need to make more Dreamcast guy videos.
And that's my only fear is I would love for them to be mad successful at it, and they just use the excess money they're making to fund more games. But I think the money's going to go to their shareholders, and they're going to invest more into the games as a service thing. You see their games, their studios now. The ones that work on single player, rumored to be working on a multiplayer game of some sort, rumored to be making a co-op experience in their games. I think it was just rumored that Insomniac's making a multiplayer game.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I don't know. So it's like, clearly you already start to see it. It's already happening.
Hey, I got the perfect example of what you just said. When the Xbox Connect, the original Connect, blew up, what was Xbox focused?
Double dipped in that stuff.
They doubled down. They told Rare, "Hey man,
they ruined
Rare don't make any more games."
They ruined their whole company doing it,
bro, because it was successful.
Xbox, not Microsoft, but ruined Xbox.
Yeah. No, but you're absolutely right. Don Master said, "Yo, Rare, do Connect games. Don't do none of the great creative stuff y'all do. Do Connect games."
They took a look at Bungie's books when they were going to buy them. Like, okay, you guys make this every year. Wait, every month? You make this every month? How? Like, and they're like, and they do like the PR speak. Well, we do this, we do that. Like, can we own you now, right? You sign, okay. Can you have some people go over there and look at Naughty Dog? Like, can you see if that's money making capable? Naughty Dog calls back, "Hey Jim, the game's lit. It's just I don't know how they're gonna make money. Now you tell them go back to the drawing board, okay? I don't care, but the things they need to do is gonna ruin the game. I don't care. Are they gonna buy it? Are they gonna give me money? I mean, it doesn't look like Naughty Dog want to do it. Tell them, do I sign they check?"
Right. Hey, man, can I say something to somebody in chat? Yeah. Excuse me. NG the Atheist, he said, "You missing the point. A lot of IP failed in the PS4 era that were great but did not sell." See, that's what we're saying. A game like Days Gone, which I love Days Gone, sold 10 million. Why is PlayStation not investing in a sequel? Because because the game didn't sell enough for them. The Metacritic score wasn't high enough for them. So they're going to go another route. They're saying the Sony bin. I'm not sure what they're doing, but they said it will probably have multiplayer. I don't know if it's a single player campaign with multiplayer or it's going to be a multiplayer game. that's what we're saying. There's a lot of games last generation that were actually pretty good, but maybe it didn't move the needle enough for PlayStation. So they have said no sequel, do a multiplayer game or do a games as a service. And that's crazy to me.
And it's like at the end of the day, too, like, do you guys blame them? Like, here's the thing. Even though we want them to do a certain thing, it's one thing for us to want, it's another thing for them to just let money stay on the table. You know, and it sucks, but it's part of the business. They feel like that's one of the best ways of them making money. And, you know, Days Gone, I think that had a lot to do with the Metacritic. I think it was in development for a while, too, so they probably had a headache on that. So it probably didn't make as much money as we think it did.
Yeah.
And I think mainly it was like, look, like, we gave you guys a task. You guys succeeded in a way because we made money off it, which I would think they make money. Maybe not as much as they wanted to. But they're like, but that Metacritic score be making us look bad. It's like, you can't be doing that. And I think that might have something to do with it. But we got a $2 super chat from Germ70 coming soon. Sunset overcharge prices. Yo, why did they make a Sunset Overdrive too?
That'd be cool. I'll be honest, I didn't really care for Sunset Overdrive like that. Even I think a lot of Xbox guys hyped it up because it was an exclusive. I didn't really care for it. It was goofy to me. I thought it was okay. I finished it. I thought it was okay, but I didn't really care for it like that.
Yeah, I think to me, man, the biggest thing I want. Okay, all right. So let me ask this one question. We're gonna lead out. What do you think after the ABK deal? What is your opinion that Microsoft needs to do next?
Honestly, after the ABK deal, I think they need to. Okay, first off, I will say this: I'm not one of the guys to say buy Sega, buy this. No, after the ABK deal, I will tell them they should secure Crystal Dynamics and Idols Montreal because we know they're about to be Xbox. They're already working on Xbox games. Secure those two studios, and they need to focus on the content, getting the content ready, getting the games ready. They have so much in development right now, so much, and now with ABK also, focus on what they're going to do, make decisions. I'm sure they already got the decisions made if they're going to continue to do COD every year, or if they're going to do it every other year. That's what I want them to do. Just focus on the content. Like I said, get a couple more studios. If they're going to get Sega, that's fine. But I would just want them to focus on the content. I know they are, like developing, but I want them to focus on the content.
All right, let me get this super chat real quick. Jax82. If Bungie told me my game sucked, I'd say so. I'd say due to yours. Like I'm assuming he's saying so does yours.
So yeah, so does yours.
Yeah. All right. Here's what I would do.
Man, it's a mad pony in the chat. Goodness, he mad, man.
Yeah. Here's what I want them to do. I don't, unless the buy makes sense. I don't want them to buy another company for right now. I would say companies that make sense for them to buy is like a Sega or maybe a Capcom, something that they don't have. Stop strengthening your strengths and start strengthening your weaknesses. You have a huge grasp on the Western market right now. So I don't think you need anything else from that vein. I just don't. If you can get something on the low for the cheap, that makes sense. Maybe something that comes across your face that you never thought you would have the opportunity to get, that makes sense. But don't go out there and just buy stuff to buy stuff. I think their best bet is to just rein in the anarchy. Like, find out exactly, because right now there is some mismanagement going on throughout the throughout all the studios and stuff, but people want to exaggerate, act like it's all of Microsoft. No, when you have as many studios as Microsoft has now, some people are just going to act up.
Mm-hmm.
You got the class clown, the troublemaker, the dude you always have to bail out of jail. Everyone got them in a family, and this is no different. When you have this many people, sometimes people are just going to act up. So that's why I feel like, they need to go on like a scale thing. You got the the gray area where it's like, okay, you're a studio that we bought. You haven't really proven yourself, kind of like a We Happy Few, and I would say State of Decay to a point, the people Undead Labs. So you're in that gray area where it's like, we're going to have to monitor you. You don't get your own IP. If we bought you and you're making an IP, you're going to have to show us that you can improve that IP. Or if we allow you to make another IP, you need to really show me that you know the direction you want that game to go. And then you have like the yellow, where it's like, you've proven to me, but you haven't done nothing under me. You get what I'm saying? So I would say like an Exile Entertainment, a Ninja Theory. I would say these studios have proven that they can bear fruit, but they need to prove that they can bear fruit under Microsoft. Right. So they get the yellow. They get the, like, I would even throw 343 in this shit now. Yeah, they in the yellow one. And then you got the red under the gray. Because those are the people that ain't, I would say 343 in the red. It's like, I need your leader, your head of studio to come over here and sleep. He's sleeping under headquarters for right now. We got a room for him in the back. You guys report to him. He gonna tell me. Yeah, obviously I'm joking, but it's like they need some of these studios. I feel like you need a huge more grasp on. You need to reach out and grab them more often.
Yeah, I mean this is like when I used to coach like middle school basketball. I always had the kids that were great. That were great. They would listen to what I'm saying. And then it was always the kids that you had to give a little extra. Hey man, come on, man, pay attention. Come on. Like the kids, you gotta kind of pay attention to a little bit more because their focus isn't there where you want it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's true. But I do agree with what you're saying. I do need them to after this ABK deal, like I said, I do want them to go ahead and pick up Crystal Dynamics and Idols Montreal, but after that, just focus on delivering consistent content. That's it, man, because they have a lot of studios under their belt now, so they got to really manage these studios and make sure they don't have another Redfall and stuff like that.
That doesn't mean they can't multitask. If Microsoft has the right people in place, they can easily multitask. But but here's the thing: when Redfall happened, that's when I put the brakes on it. It's like, okay, you could probably multitask, but you got too many people looking in too many different areas. If you're not going to hire people to help Matt Booty and Pete Hines, just fall back. Is what I'm saying. All right, let me get this super chat real quick because we about to head out of here. We got a $2 super chat from Jazz82. Do you think we get a Destiny 3? Before PlayStation, no. After PlayStation, yes. I think if, Project Matter or whatever that game's called, if it doesn't work good and it doesn't have success almost out the gate, I think that's when they're going to, okay, we need to do something else. We got a super chat from $5 super chat from Mac City Ent.
Mac City Entertainment.
Mac City Entertainment, man. I appreciate the generosity. Sony been pimping us with the last generation games. Games that SSD was a lie. I'm excited for Avowed, Hellblade 2, Fable, Starfield, and Indiana Jones. 100%. Sega on the way. I agree. Sega's definitely a possibility. I don't know if I do think Sega was definitely on the table before the Activision deal, but I think we need to just see what they're going to do because that Activision deal is going to put a lot of different variables on the table of buying companies that wasn't there before they bought them. All right, so
Activision deal kind of fell in their lap. Yeah,
and I think it might have took away some opportunities that they would.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, so I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. First off, I really want to thank everyone. My aunt passed away, and the problem I had is I was close to my aunt, but my mom, man, she was in Arizona. She went up there to see her dad, and she wasn't supposed to come back. She was gonna take a bus back, in next month, and she got stuck out there, and I didn't want her missing her sister's funeral. Hey, man, I put a post out. I don't do that generally. I feel really weird doing that. But you guys came through. I was able to help my mom get a round trip ticket because she doesn't want to stay here. She's not doing too well. After the funeral, she's going to go back out to Texas and, stay with my sister for a couple months because I could tell, the everywhere here just reminds her of her sister. But, I appreciate everyone for what you guys are doing. It really helped. You guys have no idea.
Shout out to you guys.
I'm not going to bring these up because we're about to close out. $2 super chat from Black Max. Can Sony purchase Take-Two? Probably. But
you
the
think
thing
so?
is, they could probably do it, but they'd have to take out loans. And I don't know if right now it's not a good time to take out loans in general. And I don't know if their investors would allow them to take that kind of risk.
You think Take-Two is about what, 40 bill?
Yeah, 40, 50 bill, they'd probably have to pay them somewhere in that line.
Yeah.
Because Take-Two ain't really hurting. When
they ain't.
When you paying people that's not hurting, you got to really make that pop.
That's
$2 super
That's why
chat from Germ
Xbox
70.
pay Activision so much. Yeah.
Yeah, $2 super chat from Germ 70. It says it jumped me. It says Disney is selling. Microsoft should buy Lucasfilms. That'd be interesting. If Microsoft bought them, they would have an avenue for Star Wars stuff. That would be interesting. That would be interesting. I don't think they would ever go that far, but that would definitely be interesting. But I definitely appreciate the $2 super chat from Max City Entertainment. Sorry if you're a Lost fan. My condolences. I appreciate it, guys. But we're gonna go ahead and close out of here. One thing I do want to tell you guys, and guys got to do me a favor. I know this is gonna be a big favor I'm about to ask you. Okay. All right. So over here at Fame. Over here at Fame's podcast, he's got Ryan McCaffrey on. All right. This is what I want you guys to do. This is going to be a big favor, but you guys got to do it for me, man. You guys got to do it for me. I'm going to take you guys over there when we end the podcast. And the people that are willing to drop some super chats in that chat, say get Addict and Dirt on Unlocked. That's what I want you guys to do. Go over there. All you got to do is say get Lord Addict and Dirt on Unlocked, and then go over there. If you guys don't got the bread, put it in there, put it in just regular in the chat, man. Spam they chat. We deserve to come through on Unlocked. All right, spam that chat. But I appreciate it for coming through, man. You guys have a great day, and until next time, this is Gaming Addict, Lord Addict, and